So once the system is all wired up and powered up and working, first things first is once it's loaded past the startup screen and gone to this, first thing you want to do, or at least what I do, is menu, and there's a few different things that you can change here, but that's usually not what I do first thing. First things first is system setup. Now the default installer code is 0000, and so first things first, zones. Now I've wired up end-of-line resistors to each of the zones, but first things first is just to program in the zones. So enroll hardwired zone, and normally just entry delay is all you want, just on the first section, and area 1, area 2. Again, normally just one area is all you ever need, but it's up to you as to whether you do 1 or 2 or both. And there you go, you do that for all of, oh bugger, back, entry delay 1, save, zone 3, in the whole hardwired, entry delay 1, save, 4, hardwired zone, entry delay 1, save. Now zone 5 I have wired up as a tamper circuit, but I usually just leave that connected as or at least set as a regular zone, and the tamper is wired up with, again, the end-of-line resistor in series, so that if someone tampers with the circuit, it cuts it out completely, but at all times it's measuring 1k resistance under normal conditions. So like I say, zone 5, entry delay 1, which is just a normal zone setting, and save, and there you go. Now, to make sure that they're all working correct, what you can do is, as you see, 5 zones open because of the end-line resistors. So yeah, zone open, 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 and yeah, open. So now we enable the end-of-line resistor function, so then it stops reporting all of those. So system setup, and again, master installer code is 0000. Now here's where it can get a little bit funky, but anyway, you go advanced 0000, because again, now system programming is the one that you want to touch, and the particular parameter to enable the end-line resistors, or at least get into that function, is 706. So, and there we go. Now option 2 refers directly to end-of-line resistors, and as you can see, it is currently turned off. So option 2, turn on to enable end-of-line resistors being installed. Go next, and then just exit, and home, and there you go. They are now working correctly. So now if I move my hand, you will see zone 1, which is the lounge which I'm currently at, will work, or at least it should. There we go. So, and one little thing that you can do too, just to make it easier for testing, is zone 1, you go chime and save, and then home, and then I just move around a bit. Come on. And there we go. And then you can do that to test all the zones. So go into each room, make sure it chimes for each one, because zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. And then the tamper, if you just open up and activate one of the tamper circuits, then same thing, it'll just do the little ding ding. And so yeah, so then zones and chime turn off, and save, and then home. And that is that. And that is literally a basic install. Alright, so now troubles. As you can see, it is coming up with troubles. So timer loss, to adjust the time, just hit that. 5:49, I believe that is pretty close. April 14th, yeah. So to set time and date, you can go into that, and I know that it is currently that time, so I'm just going to leave it as that. But yeah. And then set the date that way. And there we go. Date format you can use to change to the different layouts, but I just always leave it as year, month, day, and yeah. Back and back. And as you see, that is the troubles gone. Now, next up is the default arming code is 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. Disarm 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we go. So system setup. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 is what you want to type in, and you go users, and system master is what it always is. Now it's up to you as to that one's yeah, normally it comes up with master 1 and then master 2, but that's just because I previously was mucking around with some remotes. But anyway, system master is the one you want to edit, and you can change the name there if you want, but anyway. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case we'll go 9876, save, and then 9876. So normally you just put that as whatever the customer wants as the master code, but anyway. And there we go. And if you have any remotes, here is where you press just any button on the remote. It does not matter which button, because it just uses that frequency of the particular remote. And then, yeah, and that is that. And then home 9876. And there you go, success. So off 9876. And yeah. Alright, now next up is to change the installer code. So default 0000, menu, system setup 0000, and codes, I believe. Yeah, installer code, maintenance code, PC phone number. Most of the times, installer code is all you will ever need to change. So today we'll say 1111, but you can change to whatever installer code you want. Save 1111 and save. And there you go. And that's that. Now, while you are in the installer programming menu, you can also change delays. So entry delay 1, and there you go. So if you want to make it longer or shorter, then you can do that. If you want to add a second entry delay for whatever reason, then you can do that one. So depending on whether it's, yeah, the couple of zones, well, what they call partitions, so partition 1, partition 2, but anyway, you can do that. And exit delay 1 minute, and again you can change that to whatever you want, but 1 minute is usually pretty good. And bell cutoff, this is to do with the alarm system when it goes off and how long that goes for. So Me being me, I always like to set it to quite a fair while. So 15 minutes is usually my preference, but again, you can change that to whatever you want. And yeah. Now, if you have any smoke alarms installed, like I do currently on Zone 4, for example, simplest way to test them and make sure that they are working is to put them as Zone 4, or whatever zone that you want, and then physically either connect or disconnect the alarm depending on what the relay contacts are set as. Me personally, I always like to set them as normally closed, and then that way if they are tampered with, then it will cause the system to activate, as well as also wire up a 1k resistor end of line to the alarms for, again, that reason. So yeah, just a bit of a fail-safe sort of a thing. That way if the alarm does happen to fail or again get tampered, then it'll trigger. But anyway, zone 4, you want to edit and hardwired zone, and you want to make sure that you set as either, now instant fire will literally go off as soon as it detects anything. Delayed fire means that in the case of, say, burnt toast or whatever, I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's basically, yeah, once it detects smoke or whatever, there will be a delay between it detecting and it actually triggering the alarm. And instant fire silent and delayed fire silent, as it says, is, yeah, either instant, triggering back to the alarm company or to your phone or whatever, but with a silent alert, and same with the delayed. Now, my preference is always 12, but again, you can choose whatever you want. And same again, area 1, area 2, depending on what you want. So upstairs, downstairs, or different zones or whatever. But again, normally I just leave it as area 1. And that is that. And that is literally a fire zone done. One other thing I almost forgot, so when programming in multiple key fobs or remotes, you cannot do them to the same code, basically. You have to actually create a second code for the second remote, and if you have 3 remotes, you've got to create a third code. So as you see, System Master, Master 1, Master 2. So System Master, I've already programmed to one remote. Master 1, I will program to the second remote. So again, you can change that to remote 1, remote 2, whatever, person's name, whoever it is, whatever you want. And here, now, for the sake of today, we'll go 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. And same thing again, so on the remote that you've yet to program in, you just press any button. In the case of these, I just normally press the I button and press it once to actually get it to transmit. And then you press it again, and there you go. Now, if you want to just double check how you've programmed in the remotes, simplest way is just press the I button, and bingo. So yeah, if it fails to arm or disarm or whatever, or programmed in correctly, it will come up with a red light instead. And yeah, so arm, there we go. And the other one, we can go disarm. Okay, normally it works. There we go. So yeah. So if you do have issues with arming and disarming, such as that, sometimes a typical symptom can be that the aerial that, if you've fitted it correctly, it might be getting blocked by something. So in which case, if you replace the aerial with a bit of wire that's longer, and try and reroute it away from any bricks or any steel, then that would, in theory, help the range of the remote.